So, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Real, I'm just completely agree with Vladimir and Yossi statements here. This is absolutely in line. We have not prepared presentations together, but seems we're talking the same language. So a little bit about Estonia. So it's like comparable country. So started from the 2000 year when the first X road was invented for sharing information between government authorities and the private sector. And the finishing with data embassy, first for the world, and private cloud started actually 2 years ago, and now is going up. Yes, from the bright perspective, it really looks like, yes, much faster, services provided by IT for the government authorities. For example, just on the elections, it's a huge saving of money because there is no need for servers just for elections. It's being taken from the government private cloud and protected by the government itself. It's a lot of savings here, reductions in the operational expenses because, okay, European Union structural funds are granted for CapEx, but not for OpEx. And of course, the uptime, since it's fully certified, it's have different protection systems, mechanism, it's really like 13/9 is here just to keep systems, up and running. But coming to the point, which is equally coming from the Gartner regarding the next year, SaaS as a service, yes, it will exist, it will develop, but 75% of applications are coming now being developed, not being purchased. Second thing, as you know, software is now defining business. It's about Airbnb, it's about Uber, about a lot of other companies, which is challenging the traditional business. The key is here, if you want currently to implement something in your government software, typically, at least for Estonia, it takes 6 to 9 months to implement some change and also to respond to the cyber threat. So it's really the question, do we have a luxury to wait 6 to 9 months to develop, to respond to the competition, and to patch? I believe answer is definitely no. So that's why if we currently take the typical scenario, I believe applicable for majority of countries, 90% of applications is currently traditional one, and less than 10 is cloud native. This will definitely is changing to the different models, like to retire, to modernize, to replace, rewrite, absolutely different things. And asking here, what are actually the risk and applications coming here? So 88% of applications used in Estonian Government Cloud have vulnerabilities. What have discovered? Now it's not at least for us, but it's general market. It's almost 200 days to detect the break in the systems. 200 days when the typical business is just understanding that they was hacked. Now we're talking, everybody's talking about virtualization, cloud, containers. So just we're taking the typical Dockers, they're having more than 30 vulnerabilities there. And there's some kind of result. My data is a little bit different from Yossi one about the cost. But the country cost is definitely, size of the countries are completely different. But you also have 1.5 million, I have $800K, so twice less. Although Estonia is, I believe, 10 times less by population compared, with Israel. So it's not reflecting. So 50% of us are generally unprotected in the cloud. This is actually absolute statistics. How many people are just putting the data inside the cloud and using Dropbox, whatever else. And 82% is not ready to respond to the future risks. One of the things, just I want to say, to return here is, yes, it's really hard, and we need to think about applications to develop, to see the risk. There is no way to have software without the mistakes and vulnerabilities. That's why we have invented so-called data embassy, which means that in European countries, according to European legislations, we have archive system which is getting the information from the all Estonian registers and critical systems. And in case of something, cyber war, whatever else is happening, hot war, generally we shall be able to put our systems back into production in the 15 to 20 minutes from the different country. This is absolutely unique thing here. And this can be using because we are thinking about IT, about backup, about archiving, about let's say, distributed data. This actually, say, solutions is here, think about backup. Majority of people in municipalities are not thinking this. Sync and share, the same Dropbox issue. Native, cloud native, say, applications to be developed and actually to be protected. IT and analytics. That's what just wanted to sell. It's not like you never will get the full vulnerability protection. It's just the situation that you need to have some another things mechanism in place. A little bit here as well, so it's like not our report, it's Verizon report, but actually it's showing that 28% internal people are involved in the security breaks. Another thing is also including physical actions. So that's why there was a topic to say discuss once again, 170 days to detect, 28 days to respond to this. Advice is, if your organization have backup, is definitely not enough. Think about golden copy. Vladimir mentioned about air gap. At least this is one of the best currently things you can do protecting some of your golden copy, golden image. This is critical. And another thing, I just putting, let's say, one of our systems, as we discussed, everybody is talking software. Software is defining the future. This is not brains, not, let's say, discussions here. Everybody knows Amazon. Do you know how quickly, how frequently Amazon is updating own software, what we are using? Guess how frequent? Once per each 11 seconds. Now, if you're just talking about the systems and what Vladimir and Yossi just discussed as well, patching, yes, it's really critical. But if you patch it without understanding what is happening, either your system will go down because of incompatibilities issues from the software perspective. If not doing this, this can, let's say, provide even the better, much bigger risk for you. So that's why we also, let's say, discussed, we are going for hyper-converged systems, and actually all updates and patches are coming, are fully certified at the vendor side before being implemented at the customer side, and all responses and all the, let's say, responsibilities also coming from that, let's say, point of view. This is actually what changing the whole world, so it's efficient, it's secure. And now a little bit about generally what parts of Dell Technologies was used or being used in the Estonian Government Cloud, as you see, let's say, from this different perspective. So first, we need to minimize vulnerability, say, windows. I'm not talking we need to do it's one each 11 seconds, but definitely not 9 months. That's absolutely, and say one of the divisions here, and you can actually say talk with us, this is a pivotal. The second thing here is definitely the infrastructure, computing power itself, because it's defined the future of your state. That's what actually, just let's say, I shall just ask you, let's say, one, let's say, example. I believe Slovakia is also facing the same issue as Estonia is facing. The number of taxpayers are going down. So that means that's how we can increase number of taxpayers. The answer for Estonia was to start a residence. So we're attracting much more people just to have a digital signature to utilize our software and actually just to run business, but to pay taxes, let's say, in Estonia. We have got more than 50,000 new taxpayers for the country just because of the software. Another thing is definitely was discussed is we have providing the services like at the company from Dell Technologies side, like SecureWorks and RSA, which was mentioned here as well already. And of course, for the clouds, there's different things, including our company, Boomi, which can provide a secure interconnectivity access between hybrid clouds, between different clouds, we'll see different solutions. So actually, just confirming, there is not a single way to address all cyber threats. Think about software, think about the platform you are writing for the software, how you address. Think about how you protect the data from the terms even from the outside your country, or maybe some kind of additional mechanism. Think about golden copy, where you can really rely on restore from this, or air gap technology as well. And think about utilizing the best practices from the world to protect. And we're ready to help you. Thank you.